How's it going, guys? Welcome to Audio Addiction. We have Granite Hands back with us with a new member. He can say his name and what he does in the band.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Cesar. I play drums and sing backup vocals for Granite Hands.
Awesome, Cesar. So my first thing is, I guess, since you are the newest member, and last time I interviewed Sharush, shout outs to Sharush. Sorry you couldn't be here, man. Like, how did that formulate? How did you join the band? And I know that they kind of have more of a, you guys have more of a solidified lineup since the last time we talked. So, how has that been, and how has it been your time in Granite Hands so far?
Well, I guess going back to when I first joined, it was around 2015, and I was living in San Marcos, which is about half an hour away from San Antonio. And Sarush had hit me up asking if I'd be interested in, playing some tunes for a couple live shows. And that's how things kind of started getting, started between him and I. And, I'm not, I hope he doesn't take this the wrong way, but when he first showed me the music, I underestimated it a little bit. And, I heard the first EP that he had put out, and I was like, whoa, totally blew me away. And I was like, I really have to start, getting better on my playing and, improve my chops and all that stuff. So we started there, and over the years, it's been a little difficult. It's kind of been up and down. We've had things come up in our personal lives that have kind of put a hold on our music. Sarush has always been really good about going forward, no matter what. And I rejoined the band again in 2018, and we were still playing some shows here and there, playing a lot of the old tunes and some of the new ones from Don't Do It. So I learned everything, by ear the way I did the first time. And, I'd put in my own kind of flair in there in different songs. And, him and I got together finally, and we were like, we really want to make something, of our own organically from scratch.
Yeah.
And that's when, our new EP that's about to come out, Void, that's how all of that kind of started getting started. Sarush had some rough tracks, like a foundation for what we wanted to do. And, from then on, after their previous tour to on the West Coast, that's when we started talking a whole bunch. And it took about a year before we actually got in the studio. But before that, it was just a whole bunch of time, fine picking, certain parts, what we want in this album, what kind of feel we were going for. And now here we are, just released the single, music video. It's been a really long time, and very frustrating and, anxious. But I'm real happy with what we have, what we made, and it's getting a lot of good reception so far. So I'm stoked about that.
Oh yeah, definitely. I felt the same way about like some of the obviously I saw the single with like Owane, which we'll talk about in a second, but it's so cool to see you guys, especially Sarush, since the last time we interviewed, and like I know he kind of took like a hiatus a little bit. Like I didn't see as much posting about Granite Hands, and I was like, man, I wonder if he's still doing it and stuff. And then you guys came out of nowhere with the EP announcement, and then like the single release, obviously. And I was like, awesome, this is good, because I know he's a great guitar player, and to see him kind of like disappear, it kind of I hurt a little bit. And I know he's a great guitar player, and I know he'll watch this. So, but it's cool to see you guys like connect, and obviously I didn't know that you were so integrated early on and then decided to come back, and that's awesome. Glad you decided to come back and rejoin the band. But I guess we could talk about the EP. Obviously the most notable thing, how has it been? How was it working with Owane? How was that opportunity? I'm sure Sharush can bring, be a little bit more along that lines in terms of like information, but like, I guess, how was your involvement with him thus far?
Yeah, well, I mean, I personally didn't have any one-on-one contact with him, so Sarush would be better able to explain that. But I do, remember when I first rejoined and hearing Smokescreen's like the rough take of it with programmed drums and everything, and it sounded phenomenal. I was like, wow, this is like unlike early Granite Hands stuff. And, and I mean, I wasn't hearing a whole bunch of other bands sounding like that either. And I remember our old bass player Eric bringing up or talking about how, oh, Owane's going to be featured on this, and I hope he doesn't take this in the wrong way, but I didn't know who Owane was at the time, so like, I don't know who that is, and then Saru showed me some videos, and showed me how much hype this guy had, and he's a phenomenal guitarist as well. He's got really great videos, great
Yeah,
music. So I was like, wow, like this is awesome, and not only do we get to collaborate with, super awesome musician, but, it'll kind of help us out too. And, I think the way Owane was able to contribute to Smokescreens just like added that, flair that we were looking for. And I think everything integrated very well. And, like I said earlier, we're very happy with the entire EP and, very happy with the song. I think it sounds phenomenal. I'm not hearing too many other bands play this kind of music, and I'm just really happy that we were all able to kind of put our influence into this. Like me in particular on the previous EPs, I wasn't really able to play a whole lot because the
sure.
drums were programmed. So it was just nice hearing what everything sounded like, coming from each of us. So as far as working with Owane, it's been really cool. It's been helping us out a lot, and just being able to know that we had this collaboration with this amazing guitarist is just
Yeah.
really awesome.
That's how I felt too, even with the song. Like, I have been, obviously I've been a fan for a while, and so I feel like this is like so far peak Granite Hands. Like the Smoke Screen has been like really awesome. I've been jamming it a lot recently, and for me it's like, each record and evolution, I feel like you guys have kind of like done something a little bit different, but this one feels like different, but probably in the best way that I could possibly describe it. I feel like musically, evolutionary wise, I feel like you guys are doing something different, and I'm excited to listen to the entire thing. Sarush, if you want to send it to me, that'd be great. But yeah, I'm very excited for it, and I guess you kind of tapped into my next question, which was like who like early like on like influenced you to start playing drums, and like obviously you do backup vocals as well, so like who inspired you to do either both of those things together, or like obviously you have separate influences for vocals and drums, but
Yeah. Well, so I've been playing drums since I was like 4 or 5, and early on it was a lot of rock influences. Like one of my favorite bands is Rush,
yeah.
and that's what I grew up listening to. So Neil Peart is a huge influence of mine. But like it's weird because my dad was really into disco and soul and
I'll tell
funk
you.
and stuff like that. My mom was the one that, yeah. So my mom was the one that really enjoyed the rock and roll. So like with my mom it was a lot of rock, and with my dad it was a lot of Barry White, Donna Summer.
Oh yeah.
There's blonde, yeah, like just a lot of good stuff like that. So as the years went by and my playing started to, I guess, kind of form in its own way, or the way it has already, it's just like I don't know, there's some times where I'll be playing a lick or some kind of groove that's real funk influenced, and
Sure.
then some that'll switch to like real prog or like math rock, I guess. So yeah, I don't know, I have a really big variety of what I listen to and what really influences me. And right now, vocal wise, I listen to a lot of soul. We're Saruj and I are really big fans of Hiatus Coyote, so
Yeah.
we tried implementing that a lot in this album. And yeah, I listen to a lot of other kind of like chill wave stuff. So I don't know, I try to get that feel when I'm playing, but of course, like a lot of old habits, I guess, or influences will pop up, and that's when I get a mix or a blend of this huge variety of just fills and grooves that I do that are from a whole a wide array of influences or musicians that I listen to.
Yeah, sure. I felt that like that because how I grew up, like my parents were both into like classic rock and stuff. So like obviously like
Yeah.
Rush was on there, like Styx, like Led Zeppelin, all that
Oh
sort of
yeah.
stuff. So like for
Yeah,
me,
yeah.
like that was so like when I was listening to like because I try to like really focus in on a lot of stuff. Like I'll go through multiple listens and kind of like pick out certain things in a song. But I felt like there was some sort of like classic vibe to like how you drum, like whether and obviously I asked you, so it kind of reinstills how I felt about it, but
Yeah,
like initially I was like, yeah, this has like that like in some way like very odd, but like that classic rock vibe, but also like
mm,
something a little bit extra, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And then you had mentioned like disco and like sort of that sort of like funk stuff, and I was like, okay, now I can like discernibly like be like, okay, that definitely feels like in that era or that vibe of drumming. So I feel like you have your style, and I can hear it distinctly. May not be important to anybody else, but I just feel like maybe you wanted to hear that.
well, thank you. I appreciate that.
But my next question, Cesar, is another fun one. If there was one album that you wished that you could write, what album would it be? Like an album that came out in the past. Which one do you feel like you would like to have written?
Damn, that's a really good one,
Thank
actually.
you.
Wow. I think it's gonna have to be between two for sure. A Rush record, of course.
Yeah.
Um,
Anyone in
and
particular?
uh, Hemispheres.
Oh,
That's such a great album. You know, like everybody will usually reference, of course, 2112 or
yeah.
Moving Pictures, which are amazing albums. But they put out, I think all their albums that they put out have been amazing. But Hemispheres, there's just something about that one that I don't know. I just feel like the quality and I think the effort that they put into that just like made that album so like electric, and I
Sure.
just love listening to it. So for sure, that album probably. And another favorite band of mine is Led Zeppelin. So I'd probably have to say Houses of the Holy,
Oh,
because that
yeah.
album's, uh, that album's amazing. I love every tune on that. Um, and yeah, I mean, Led Zeppelin's also been a huge influence of mine. So if I would have had the opportunity to write something like that, and had to been able to take credit for such an album, and probably something from them or Rush for sure.
Awesome, awesome. My next question, kind of to follow up that one, if you could compile a musical supergroup, who would be in your band?
Wow. Can I be in that band or
Absolutely, yeah.
okay?
I mean, if you don't want
Probably.
to be, that's fine too. But I feel like if the question is pointed at whoever, you're replacing everybody else except for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, for the sake of this question, I'll cancel myself out. On drums, it would be Eric Moore,
Oh,
because
okay.
that guy's an animal. He's got crazy chops. On guitar, it would probably have to be Alex Lifeson.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um, bass would be Victor Wooten.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Um,
I'm feeling that.
vocals would probably have to be. Ah, man, this is a toughie. Aretha Franklin.
Wow, okay. I was not
I would
expecting
want
that
to get
one.
that sound. Yeah, that would be. I think that'd be pretty cool. I mean, it's a odd mixture, but I think something really interesting would come out of all of that. That would be really fun to see, I think.
That would be nuts. I feel like I would pay very good money to see whatever that was or whatever that is. That's
Yeah,
that is
some
very out
prog,
there.
yeah, some prog soul funk group or something like that.
Awesome, awesome. Next question, Cesar. Obviously, we have been talking a lot about the EP, but what's one song that you really loved working on that in the studio and stuff like that? And then what's one? I don't know how many you've played live yet, but what's one that you're excited to play live when the time comes?
Uh, well, so I think my favorite song on the EP is it's called Space Shaman,
Okay.
and yeah, that should be the second track once we release it. And I think that one's awesome because um, I don't know, like I get to play sort of like the typical rock beats that I'm very influenced by, but then there's a little bit of like I want to say hip hop influenced
Okay.
rhythm in there. We have a saxophone on the album, so
Tight.
that sounds amazing on the track also. So I think it's just like a combination of all those things, and it sounds very chaotic, but I like to call it I like to define it as like a controlled chaos kind of sound. So I love that song very much. When we got the master tracks back, or like the rough tracks, I was like
Mhm.
constantly listening to it because I not only love playing it, but I just really love the way it sounds. So I'm super stoked for that one. And it would probably have to be between that one and another song that we have called The Machine that I'm very excited to play live, because I think those are just very like energetic songs that like really will get the crowd going, and like some really good chops on the strings, on drums, on the horn. So I'm really excited to play those live and for people to hear those, because I just don't think they're going to be expecting that kind of sound, I think.
Awesome, awesome. Well, like I said, I'm excited to delve into them. So as soon as we're done, I'll have to message Sarush to send it over.
Yeah.
But then,
You send it over, man.
yeah, please send it over. The next thing, Cesar, keeping it more current. Who have you been jamming recently? What's on your Spotify or however you choose to listen to music?
So recently, I've always got Meshuggah on.
Oof,
So I love Meshuggah. Yeah. Um, so Meshuggah's always playing. Andy Schauf, when I'm like feeling a little bit more, on the mellow
sure, yeah.
side. Yeah, he's real nice to listen to. Sharon Jones, Hiatus Coyote, Fote. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's like kind of electronic, like real chill wave stuff,
Okay.
but he's really good to listen to, real funky. River to Bear, and I think that's about it. Aside from that, I always have this like constant, like variety of musicians that like I'm always listening to. I also started listening to this band called Helion. They're like Nordic tribal music.
Interesting.
I mean, yeah, I wouldn't imagine anybody just listening to them like just cause, but I just really love like the way these primal beats sound. So I listen to a lot of that when I'm like exercising. So that pretty much does it for the music that's on my playlist right now.
That's awesome. You got a very wide variety of music, and it's
Yeah.
always cool for me to hear it because like there's some artists that this year, hopefully in 2020, I'm gonna check out a lot of artists that I don't typically check out just because a lot of my stuff is like more based in like metal, like
Uh-huh.
hardcore stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I delved into indie last year a lot, and so
Mhm.
I'm excited to get into more like electronic, like lo-fi, that sort of stuff
Yeah.
because I've been really jigging that lately. Do you have
Yeah.
any?
Well, real quick, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off,
No,
but
you're good.
when you said hardcore, I mean, like when I'm at the gym, usually, I'm always listening to, aside from Meshuggah, Slayer, of course,
Yeah.
Power Trip, which is,
Ooh.
near where I live. Cro-Mags, I love the Cro-Mags. They're awesome. Nails, Code Orange. I was always into hardcore, but more on the metal side, and now I've been getting into that, like, I guess current genre, or
Yeah.
like the current hardcore that's coming out. Also, Turnstile is really awesome. So when I'm not in a funky mood, I'll listen to a whole bunch of that for sure.
There we go. Awesome. Well, I'll have to some ones that I've been on this year, or last year that I really enjoyed were Gideon's record.
Mm.
They're awesome. I think they're from Alabama. Yes, they're from
No.
Alabama. And then Knock Loose. They're from.
Oh
They're
yeah,
very good.
dude.
They put out a fantastic record this year, and then a
Yeah.
band from Texas, Kubla Khan, put out their new
Mm.
record this year, and they're like hardcore. So
Okay.
those are my picks that I've really enjoyed from hardcore this year. There's
Cool.
probably others that I can't remember, but those are ones currently that I can think of. But
Yeah.
the last thing, Cesar, the most important thing. Tell them about Granite Hands. Tell them about the new record and what you got going on in the next couple months.
So I think everybody's going to be very pleased with the new record. Saruj and I really busted our butts on how we wanted it to sound. It was very stressful and long and frustrating process, but at this very same time, like it was a lot of fun. We made a lot of great memories. We learned a lot about ourselves and what we're capable of, and I'm very proud of the end product. Saruj is very proud of it. So I think people are really going to enjoy the rest of the EP. We're glad that everybody's been enjoying the new tune so far. Like, that's awesome. That's making us really happy and really proud of the work that we've made. So I'm really excited for the release of the entire EP. We are going to be releasing another song right before we do the full release. It's going to be called, or we're going to be releasing The Machine, which is the song I was talking about earlier. So I think people are going to be blown away with that. I think they're really going to enjoy it. Aside from that, we are planning some shows very soon. I'm not sure if you're aware, but we're all over Texas right now.
Yes.
I'm in Denton, Rouge is in Austin, and the other guys are like in Houston and San Antonio. So it's a little difficult getting together to practice and all that stuff. But with the release of the EP and all these songs, we definitely want to get out there and play some shows, and be able to provide people with the satisfaction of hearing these things live. And
Sure.
not only that, but we really want to play them live. We're stoked to do that. So just keep your be on the lookout for some show dates. We're going to start making sure we have some dates available very soon for an EP release. And yeah, we're just excited to be back out playing shows, and hope everybody enjoys the new music.
Awesome. Well, go check out Granite Hands. Links are in the description where you can find out about their band, where they're at on social media, and hopefully if you live in Texas, and I'm sure they'll be doing some sort of release something, so go out and go see them. They're very cool, and I hope that this year, fingers crossed, they make it to the East Coast, because they did a West Coast tour. So I'm hoping for that East Coast, lower East Coast or East Coast tour. I'll have to do something, or I have to go out to Texas. One of the two. I don't really care. I hope that one of those two options happen. But go check them out. If you enjoy this interview, share it, like it, subscribe, and go make sure to listen to the new EP when it comes out. I'm sure you're all excited for it, and as much as I am. So go give it a listen, and thanks to Cesar for coming on tonight.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Hey guys, hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Of course, if you enjoy what we do, make sure to go check out the other series we do. We do album reviews, we do band interviews, and we do live videos, so definitely go check that out. Hit that subscribe button. It really helps out our channel, helps us grow. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Go follow us on social media. That's all down below. We try to keep that as updated as possible. We also made a new website where we'll be posting photos of upcoming concerts and stuff like that, which you can go check out at audioaddictionmedia.com, and come get your fix with us, guys. Talk to you later. Deuces.